From WFRV-TV, Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. Your stories in our community. This is Local 5 News.
New developments this afternoon in the case of Brendan Dassey. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Local 5 News at 4:30. I'm Chris Schuler. The full 7th Circuit Court of Appeals has decided to rehear arguments in the Brendan Dassey case. Now, back in June, you may recall a 3-judge panel ruled that Dassey's confession to helping his uncle Stephen Avery rape and murder Teresa Halbach was coerced. Now, today, the appeals court released a decision granting the state's request that the full court now rehear this case. That is scheduled to take place September 26. Looking around the state, we told you yesterday about a public hearing in Madison over the proposed $3 billion tax incentive that is part of an agreement with the Foxconn company. The Wisconsin State Assembly Committee had scheduled that hearing to start sometime in the afternoon. It went on as planned, but the part for the public to weigh in didn't happen until hours later. Now, most members of the public did not speak until after 9.
To sit here and it's not even denying science, it's defying it. It's defying science, it's defying math. To take $3 billion of Wisconsin taxpayer money over the next 10 years and say that this company is investing in Wisconsin? No, Wisconsin is investing in Foxconn.
Now, Foxconn has pledged to invest $10 billion in southeast Wisconsin on an assembly plant. It could employ 13,000 people over 6 years. Foxconn hopes to open that plant in 2020 with 3,000 workers. House Speaker Paul Ryan held a town hall meeting at a plant in southeastern Wisconsin today. He is calling for a tax break for businesses that he says would help Wisconsin become competitive in the global economy.
The problem we've got is when you tax your businesses, your companies, at much higher tax rates than your foreign competitors tax theirs, they win, we lose. So this is among the reasons why we're pushing tax reform.
Ryan also acknowledged conservative voters might be frustrated during midterm elections next year. He says that would happen if the GOP legislative agenda stays stalled, despite controlling both Congress and the White House. Well, new developments in a deadly plane crash during EAA's Air Venture. A second person has died from injuries sustained after a seaplane crashed on Lake Winnebago. Now, the Winnebago County Coroner's Office identifies the man as the pilot, Ray Johnson. Johnson was 84 years old, is from Marshall, Minnesota. Now, the seaplane crashed as it was attempting to take off from Lake Winnebago. It hit a large wave and then it flipped over. The July 27th crash also claimed the life of 71-year-old Diane Linker of Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. Another person was listed with minor injuries in the crash, and a diver was also hurt during that rescue. Well, Green Bay police have arrested a man in connection with a stabbing that happened on the city's east side yesterday afternoon. He is 27-year-old Andrew Smith. Just before 4, police were called to a stabbing in the 2700 block of Humboldt Road. Smith left by the time police arrived, but he was arrested 20 minutes later. Now, the victim, a 33-year-old Green Bay man, was taken to a hospital. No information has been released about his condition today. A woman who Green Bay police said was in danger has been found and is okay. Officers say they were contacted by 26-year-old Mara Vance earlier today. Now, Green Bay police had said she was last heard from several days ago and was missing under suspicious circumstances. State issues from the perspective of a Wisconsin lawmaker. That's the topic of this week's Newsmaker Sunday. Local 5's Tom Zalaski sits down with Democratic Representative Gordon Hintz of Oshkosh. Now, one topic talked about was the next step in passing a new state budget. Hintz also weighed in on what he thinks is the biggest problem when it comes to fixing Wisconsin's roads.
We're borrowing a record level of transportation money, and we're starting to see our roads crumbling. I think the Assembly Republicans said, hey, we don't want to keep borrowing money. Let's come up with a long-term solution. The governor doesn't seem willing to do that, but that seems to be the big hang-up, is how do we pay for roads with not borrowing more money? And if we're not going to add a new revenue, let's not dig the hole any deeper.
And you can catch Newsmaker Sunday starting at 7:30 right after Local 5 Sunday morning. Now it's time for this week's Doing the Right Thing. Are you in need of a haircut? That's the question. Local 5's Blaine Wells shows us how a local salon is making sure everyone feels welcome in our community.
The community is everything to us. Without the community, we wouldn't have the salon, we wouldn't have a clientele.
Hype Hair in Green Bay is raising money for the local chapter of Wisconsin's Down Syndrome Association.
It means a lot just because it shows not only that, yeah, it's fun to come to a fundraiser and get a good deal or anything like that, but it also shows acceptance. It shows that, the community not only supports us and our kiddos, but they also want our kiddos to be part of it.
15-year-old Preston Taylor will be rocking his fresh new hairstyle at the upcoming Down Syndrome Awareness Walk in Green Bay.
Hang out, drink water, and hot and sweaty, and take a break.
Preston is the walk ambassador. In addition to smaller events like the haircut fundraiser, the walk is the major way the chapter gets its funding.
We're able to provide programming, education, family grants for families who want their kids to do therapy services that maybe need some financial assistance.
The group also offers support to families.
It was really beneficial for me when he was first diagnosed to have that connection of the community and other families that had gone through it.
I wanted to pave a path for parents who are following in my footsteps. So I wanted to be that driving force to let parents know that it's going to be okay and make things easy for people who are looking for resources.
All funded through simple acts of community kindness. Keeping it local in Green Bay, Elaine Wells, Local 5 News.
And the haircut fundraiser takes place this Sunday from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon at Hype Hair in Green Bay. It is $10 for kids, $15 for adults. Now, the walk is Sunday, August 27th at Green Isle Park. We'll have more details on both events on our website. That's wearegreenbay.com. All right, the world of fast food always continues to change. Next, to look at how fast food technology could be more automated in the very near future.
And back-to-back days with highs in the 60s for early August. I know it ain't right. This taste of October will be short-lived. How much warmer your weekend will be and when to plan for more pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the Storm Team 5 forecast.
In the afternoon, time now for a Local 5 live traffic report. Taking a look outdoors, courtesy of Mills Fleet Farm, DOT's traffic camera network. That's Highway 172 at the Fox River. No reports of any major issues on the interstate system this Friday afternoon. We're back with more news in a bit.